lights down low. Time for blood to flow. Ghosts and ghouls, you know what we mean. But all the terror that makes you scream. Some movies creep, some make you leap. There's killer plants or blobs. We cover them all on your favorite pod. So many horrors we can choose. Even when you win, you lose. Because the call is coming from inside the room. Life ends pretty fast. Some screams fade, but some chills will last. The killers stalk and then they slash. It's the 30-something movie podcast. The clock rings out the midnight chimes. We all go a little mad sometimes. Whatever you do, don't fall asleep. And if you're in space, they can't hear you scream.
It's the 30-something movie podcast. It's still October as far as we know. I think it's still October, right?
Last time I looked,
October.
It's when will October be now?
soon.
Yeah. And that's a little clue as to what movie we're talking about this time around. It's not Spaceballs, though.
No.
It's not Spaceballs. We could, if you guys want to talk about Spaceballs, we could.
Okay.
I want
Mega
to talk about anything Mel Brooks.
I can,
Anything Mel Brooks at all. That's fine. We ain't found anyway. We're talking about Dracula Dead and Loving It. That is this episode. We're gonna be talking about it and maybe loving it. We'll find out. We'll see.
Will we be wronged by it?
Will we be wrong me?
Wrong?
Wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong. Wrong me. Command me, Lord. Yes. Blending a lot of different things here. We're gonna have this is what happens when any number of us that are co-hosts of this podcast get together and talk about a Mel Brooks movie. It is first of all, anytime we talk about a Mel Brooks movie, you know there are some things that are going to happen. We are going to start quoting a bevy of movies. I don't know if we've ever used the word bevy on the podcast before.
It's a first.
It might be a first. So I don't have like a little bell to ring, but yeah, sure.
Ding.
Thank you, Bo. That's the Bo bell. We'll call that the Bo bell. So we're going to have a bevy of movies that we're going to start quoting. I am at least, and we'll have to keep a count going here, I am at least twice probably very likely to call him Mel Gibson instead of Mel Brooks. I think that happens every single time.
Prepare yourselves.
Prepare yourselves. I don't believe I've ever accidentally called him Mel Blanc. So that would be a new one. So maybe
That's a different deal, yeah.
It's slightly different. So maybe we'll just do all kinds of new things in this podcast tonight. So this one is Dracula Dead and Loving It. We are the 30-something movie podcast. You've heard Bo, you've heard Pat, you've heard me, John Reed. We are all here for your movie discussion enjoyment. And this is probably our most comedic one this month. This month is the month of October, the theme of which is mostly vampires, because most of our movies this month dealt with vampires in some way, shape, or form. This being one of them. The other ones we've had so far this month, we had Vampire in Brooklyn a couple weeks ago. Last week was The Addiction. And then you could probably list Tank Girl in me because it sucked my will to live as I was watching that one. So there are movie vampires. There are those movies that as you have watched them, you've felt the life drain out of you.
All right, John. I gotta watch this Tank Girl thing. I've heard of it, but wow, you make it.
It was.
Make it sound like it's pretty intense.
It was not phenomenal. That's the most glowing praise I can probably give it. It was not phenomenal.
Okay,
Sounds about right.
So yeah,
it's been years since I've seen it, but that sounds about right.
Yeah, and that's okay. That's probably the as we learned from Aliens, there is a minimum safe distance. And years is probably the minimum safe distance. It's no Cool World. All right, we'll put it that way. It's no Cool World. It's no cool as ice.
But what about Howard the Duck?
Well, maybe.
I mean, is Howard the Duck our Armus? Like,
Howard the Duck is our dank and vile.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think. What is bottom? Well. No, I guess bottom basement is and always shall be the room, right?
Oh, God.
But that was kind of like so bad it was good.
Hi, Mark.
Yeah. I mean, it's at least I want to quote The Room.
Right.
Bottom of the barrel for me might be Cool World.
Well, then.
I hated that movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no Point Blank. Am I right?
You're right, man.
Yeah.
You're right. Hey, look, I'm fine. Just don't kill off all the main characters before the credits, and I'll be good.
I could, but that's the best way to make a movie. Pat, if I ever get enough money to make a movie, I'm going to find some beloved franchise, and I'm going to create a sequel in which every main character dies in the beginning of the. Has there been a Peter Pan movie lately?
Doesn't matter.
Not
There's
that
not
I
going to
can
be
think
when
of.
you get done with it.
Can I kill off Wendy and Tink like before the opening credits are even done?
Jeez.
Well, okay, so let me ask you this. If one was to do that,
Mhm.
is one doing that to do it, or is one doing that to then make that the next scene after the credits is 2 months ago, and then you start the actual movie? Like, I don't know. These days, I feel like you kill people in the first 10 seconds only to just go back in time and be done with it. So.
Oh no! I want my characters to wallow in the passing of their friends and family.
Okay.
Yeah. Because even when you win, you're still
You
in
lose.
in Never Neverland.
Just-
That's the tagline for my movie.
It's getting rough.
Yeah.
That's a
Getting
little
rough.
sick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I think it was Harrison Ford that, wanted Han Solo to not make it out of
right.
the carbonite.
Right.
You know.
We could have had Princess Leia shaving her head and getting stuck on a prison planet for all we know. That's a very different Star Wars movie.
It is.
That's
Instead of Return of the Jedi, it's just Star Wars with a little cubed right at the end of it.
mhm.
But anyway, we're not here to make up movies that some people are going to hate and John will probably love. We're here to talk about Dracula, Dead and Loving It.
Oh, so we're not talking about Alien 3?
No, not this time around.
Not anymore. We're not.
But not
Would have fooled me.
not anymore. We can if you want to, but I feel like the only way to solve our problems is, hey, you know what? Anybody who doesn't like Alien 3, anybody who's having trouble with the beginning of this podcast, may I suggest an Enema?
An enema. And another enema. And we'll
And
keep
another
doing
one.
enemas.
And then at some point he says, what did he say? It wasn't the you know what, it was
Yeah.
But it was close to that. It was near
Mhm.
the end, and he didn't even have to say it. It's like, no, not another.
Not
enema."
another. Of all the classic movies, I did say Bevy. This is the first time we've used Bevy on the podcast. Of all the classic movies that use the term enema, the only other one I could think of is This Town Needs an Enema.
Exactly.
So, I think comedy gold, whether it's coming from Jack Nicholson or Mel Blanc or Brooks or Gibson.
Whichever one.
I'm just going to interchangeably call him the wrong thing on purpose. It's going to happen anyway. So I'm going to lean into it. So, but
Own it. Own it.
But who knows? Maybe Dr. Seward, maybe that was the right thing to prescribe in the end.
It could have been.
It's part of his whole practice. All right, so we spoil freely on here. If we mention a movie and you don't want to hear anything about it, maybe just hit that little skip button a couple of times. You could visit our website, 30podcast.com, where you can leave a rating, a voicemail. You could become a co-executive producer via Patreon. I think we're just going to jump right into this one. So this one came out on December 22nd, 1995, rated PG-13 with a runtime of 1 hour, 28 minutes, directed by Mel Blanc, who did Blazing Saddles and Young Frankenstein.
Mel Brooks.
Yes. Producer was Mel Gibson, who did Spaceballs and Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Brooks.
Sure. The writers for this one were...
This is the hand I shoot with.
Yeah. The writers for this one were Mel Tillis, Rudy DeLuca, and Steve Haberman.
Brooks.
Brooks did High Anxiety, and the producers, Rudy DeLuca, did Spaceballs and Life Stinks, and Steve Haberman did Life Stinks and Love Stinks. A lot of stinking there.
Brooks.
Yes.
Sorry, I developed a tick over there.
Yes. Garth Brooks. Yeah.
Friends, low places.
Yes. Friends in Low Places. Friends in Low Places and Loving It. Composer was Humi Mann, who did Robin Hood Men in Tights and Spaceballs. If there was ever a credit that I thought was a completely fake made-up name, it was Humi Mann.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alan Smithy, anyone?
And I'm still not sure Humie Man is a real person.
It sure sounds fake.
Can we get confirmation? Can somebody check on Humie Man and see if, well, I mean, according to this, he is. He's a Canadian-born American film score composer.
Well, there you go.
His credits include Mel Brooks films Robin Hood Men in Tights, Dracula Dead and Loving It, and Thomas and the Magic Railroad.
Oh, Thomas.
What a collection of movies. I'm looking at the list of some of his movies, and there's Robin Hood Men in Tights, there's Dracula
Tights.
Dead and Loving It, there's Motorcycle Gang, and then there's Thomas and the Magic Railroad.
You know, I hear there's a lot of money in kids programming.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Those checks don't bounce.
Yeah. I still think Humie Man has got to be fake. I don't think he's a real person.
It's
It's just-
certainly,
I mean,
it's one of those names that sounds so fake it almost has to be real,
yeah.
but I'm with you.
I mean, they have supposed photos of him. Now, in the age of AI, who knows?
I was going to say deep fake.
Right. I mean, think about it. Because ChatGPT, if anybody's going to make up a name like Humie Man, that's a ChatGPT thing all the way.
Yeah, it just sounds too much like human man.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. Human Man.
he's a man.
It's like
baby.
a tin man.
Human man.
Yeah. Humie Man.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. It's and
Oh man, the last 3 minutes are like prime pod. You know what I'm saying? That's what people pay money for right there.
uh-huh. Yeah.
Wait, you meant crime against humanity? What?
That too. Yes. Yes. Because even when you listen, you lose.
Especially when you listen.
We're changing just for a brief period of time, we're changing the 3 and 30 podcast to a little teeny tiny 3 that's a superscript. It'll look weird since it's coming at the beginning of the name, but
Meh.
but who cares? It'll look weird. It's like our life story.
Mhm.
Yeah.
How far did I get? I got as far as the composer. Okay, let's see if the cinematographer sounds more like an actual human being.
Keep rolling.
Yeah. Michael D. O'Shea, totally fake name, did Life Stinks and Silence of the Hams. See, it's this kind of stuff. When we're talking parody stuff, I don't trust anything.
No,
They're all Alan Smithies.
exactly.
They're all fake people. Okay, if the editor's name is Straw Man, then I know this is like a completely okay. His name is Adam Weiss. All right, I'll give him that one. That one sounds
The
fine.
thing we need to know
Mhm.
is
What do we need to know?
who's endorsing the check that you mailed to Humie Man.
Right,
This is what I want to know.
right.
Because you know Humie's cashing them checks.
In inquiring minds that have had a couple of drinks want to know.
Exactly.
Production companies were Gaumont, Brooks Films, Castle Rock Entertainment. Budget for this one was $30 million. Box office was $10.77 million. Womp womp. Did not do well. Was a bit of a what in the business they refer to as a flop.
Mm-hmm.
Flick
And
Match-
it has, as much as we're talking about enjoying it and loving the jokes, it's not Mel's best offering.
Oh, I have all kinds of comments on it. Without bearing the lead too much, I don't know that I enjoyed it this time.
Oh, okay.
So I might have some thoughts. But we'll get there eventually once we get through the credits.
Yeah, well, maybe.
Yeah. It's a Garth Brooks movie. It's going to take forever to get
It's
there.
a long walk for these jokes, people.
Right. And trust me, the last time I tried to run the mile, it was a ridiculously long time. So any walk for me is going to be a long walk. Flick Metrics, because that still exists, is going to give it a 49%. Cinema Score is going to give it a C. So for Cinema Score, that's pretty low. People tend to come out of the theater fairly happy with what they saw, so not so with this one. Starring Leslie Nielsen, who passed in 2010. He was Count Dracula. He was in Airplane and the Naked Gun. Mel Garth Brooks Blank Gibson played Professor Van Helsing.
Tillis.
Thank you. He was in Blazing Saddles and Spaceballs. Peter McNichol was Thomas Renfield. He was in Ghostbusters 2 and Sophie's Choice.
Command me, O Lord.
Command me, Lord. Stephen Weber was Jonathan Harker. He was in Single White Female and Shining. the 1997 TV miniseries. The Shinning was the Simpsons version. Amy Yazbek was Mina Seward. She was in Problem Child 2 and The Mask. Problem Child 2 that I believe everyone
Electric
involved
Boogaloo.
would, well, no, actually, I think everyone involved would probably like to forget Problem Child 2.
Indeed.
Anthony was Lucy Westenra, who was in Krull and Look Who's Talking Now. Harvey Korman, who passed in 2008, was Dr. Seward. He was in Blazing Saddles and History of the World Part 1. Anne Bancroft, who passed in 2005, was Madam. She was in The Graduate. Bless me.
God bless you.
Thank you. She was in The Graduate and The Turning Point. Megan Cavanaugh was Essie. She was in A League of Their Own and Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Tights.
Ezio Greggio was the coachman. He was in Silence of the Hams and Box Office 3D. Mark Blankfield was Martin. He was in The Running Man and Robin Hood Men in Tights. And Clive Revel was Sykes. He was in Dick Tracy and The Legend of Hell House. Am I also correct? I mean, rarely, but am I also correct that he was the voice of the Emperor in the original Empire Strikes Back?
That is a question that I think only you would know.
Okay. I believe he was. I
So
know
let's go with yeah.
I know that he was not the face of the Emperor.
Right.
In the original Empire Strikes Back before they did all the muckety-mucking with the things and the stuff and the visuals. But I do believe he was the voice of the Emperor. If you go back to the theatrical release and before they messed with things, I believe he was the voice of the Emperor in Empire Strikes Back.
Well, that's cool.
That name jumped out at me, so I was like, "Yep, I think that's who that is." So I'm fairly certain, without looking anything up. That's what I'm going to go with. I want to say that's what it is, so I will.
There you go.
The character Madame Oyaspenskaya, sure,
God bless you.
thank you, played by Anne Bancroft, was named after a real actress from The Wolfman in 1941, Maria Oyaspenskaya. Bless me again, from The Wolfman. What else? This was the last feature film directed by Mel Brooks. Is he directing Spaceballs too?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know the details of it other than I'm excited.
Right. So maybe it's the last, maybe it's not.
As of this recording.
Yeah. I feel like, well, according to IMDb, he is not directing it. He will be acting in it, but he's not directing it.
Yeah, that's what I thought I had read, but
they have it being directed by somebody named Josh Greenbaum.
he's just, Bialystocking it.
Yes. Josh Greenbaum, who is the director of the movie Strays, which I did not see. That was the one with talking dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Like offensive talking dogs.
Right.
Offensive talking.
Yes. I believe Will Ferrell might have been one of them. I think
that tracks.
Might have been Will Ferrell, Kevin Hart, if I'm remembering the one. Yeah. Let's see. One of the fun promotional taglines for this movie spoofed the Got Milk campaign, and some of the posters and stuff had Got Blood as their promotional tagline.
I see. Yeah.
All right, let's do a quick synopsis of the movie. I will play the trailer audio for us, and then we will jump into 10 major moments to kind of help fly through the movie, just to kind of give you a sense, if you haven't seen it in a while, just to kind of give you a sense of what's going on here. All right, so the synopsis. London's in trouble. The Count is thirsty, and nobody's safe. Not even the ladies with good necks. With his bug-eating sidekick Renfield in tow, Count Dracula sinks his teeth into proper English society, targeting poor Mina and her slightly overdramatic friend Lucy. But don't worry, Professor Van Helsing is on the case. He's got a stake, a plan, and absolutely no idea what he's doing. It is horror, hilarity, and hemoglobin.
This is the frightening and shocking tale of Count Dracula. Vampires do exist. This one we face is unlike any other. He can change the most innocent of humans.
Oh, Jonathan, let me kiss you.
But Lucy, I'm British.
So are these.
Women are rendered powerless under his spell.
Stand up. Not you. Sit. You stand. No, sit. No, stand. Now, walk to the terrace door. Watch out!
His evil desire has no end.
She's alive?
She's Nosferatu.
She's Italian? Up there!
Make no mistake, he must be stopped. Leslie Nielsen, Peter McNichol, Steven Weber, Amy Yazbek, Lizette Anthony, Harvey Korman, and Mel Brooks.
If she dies, a victim of this unspeakable creature, she will become one herself. What? She will become one herself.
Dracula, dead and loving it.
It's good to be dead.
All right, so 10 major moments for
She's
this one.
dead. She's alive. She's Nosferatu. She's
She's
Italian? I'm just saying that's funny. Oh, okay, continue
Yeah.
with the 10 major moments.
Oh, that's fine. All right, so we open the movie in 1893 at Anybody Canyon, and we have poor unsuspecting solicitor Thomas Renfield heading to Transylvania to close a real estate deal at Castle Dracula. You know, just your typical work trip that ends with your client being an undead aristocrat, as you do. Dracula puts Renfield under his hypnotic spell, making him his loyal and slightly unhinged servant. Cue the boat ride to England, where Dracula snacks on the crew one by one until only Renfield is left babbling about his master. We do have the scene, I think we had mentioned it. I don't know if we had started recording yet or not, but there is the scene where Renfield does come in, and it's the scene where the Dracula's brides show up, and they are trying to seduce him, and he does his little part of
Wrong me.
wrong me. This is wrong. This is wrong. Wrong me. But then the scene, like the funny follow-up is as they are floating away, as Dracula tells them to basically get lost, and they're floating away, and it's doing the kind of like the very choral type music, and he's like, and cut that out. And then they like hunch over and start shuffling away like a bunch of angry teenagers.
God, it's funny.
Yeah. There's that, and the other
And-
one in that very beginning part is where Renfield gets the paper cut and is just spraying blood all over the place.
Yeah. Oh, and then you talked about the boat where the casket's in there. It's just swinging side to
Yeah.
side. Ah, ah, ah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just funny stuff.
There's a couple of things that they do in here with, even before we get out of this first moment that I'm pulling out here, is it's very much an homage to old school Dracula, like going all the way back to Bela Lugosi's Dracula. The Renfield, like the laugh that Peter McNichol does, is spot on to the original Renfield from the old movie. There's a lot of Bram Stoker's Dracula in here. So yeah, I mean, you can kind of tell that they're trying to pay tribute to, you know, some of the older Dracula movies.
Well, I think that's a hallmark of Mel Brooks.
Yeah.
I really, and I'm speaking as a fan, and I just read his memoirs this past summer, or his autobiography. I don't know if you'd say memoir. I don't know what the official thing is. But I mean, he knows what he's spoofing. He knows it really, really well. And it's really, his intention is to celebrate it by poking fun at it,
Mhm.
right? Like so yeah, the attention to detail is just sublime.
Yeah. So Dracula shows up in London and immediately does what any good new neighbor would do. He crashes an opera and starts flirting with the locals. He meets Dr. Seward, who conveniently runs the local asylum. Seward's daughter Mina, her fiancé Jonathan Harker, and family friend Lucy Westenra. The Count takes one look at Lucy and decides that she is his next appetizer. That night, Dracula does the classic bat to bedroom move and drinks Lucy's blood. The next morning, she's pale, she's weak, she's rocking some very suspicious neck marks. Dr. Seward can't quite figure it out, so he calls in an expert, Professor Abraham Van Helsing, the world's most serious vampire hunter with a bit of a flair for dramatic speeches and always getting the last word whenever he can.
Oh God, that was a fun bit. That was a funny bit. I'm telling you, man, that was good stuff.
Which then they play it out all the way to the very end of the movie.
Yep, right
I
at the
know.
end.
Van Helsing drops the Lucy's being drained by a vampire bombshell, but Seward's not buying it. They fill Lucy's room with garlic because, why not? It's worth a shot. Unfortunately, Dracula uses mind control to lure Lucy out for a midnight snack, finishing her off for good. So much for the garlic strategy there. Van Helsing finally meets Dracula face to face, and the two immediately get into this verbal duel in Moldavian, each trying to have the last word. It's petty, it's perfect, and it's peak Mel Brooks. Beneath the laughs, Van Helsing starts to realize that this guy is definitely a vampire.
Definitely.
Definitely a vampire. Definitely Vlad the Impaler. Definitely likes to cut off the heads, and I'm an excellent impaler.
Excellent.
An excellent impaler. Yeah, 52 heads. 52 heads. That's a dark mashup right there.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Rain of Blood Man. Yeah, Dad lets me drive the
Rain
car.
of Blood Man.
Rain of Blood Man. Yes. There we go. We're mashing up Dracula, Rain Man, and Star Trek The Next Generation. Because that's the kind of quality content you get here on the 30-something movie podcast.
What we're all about.
It's exactly what we're all about. We're nothing if not disappointing. Lucy doesn't stay dead for long. She's back, fangs, attitude, and all that stuff. She's ready to seduce poor Jonathan Harker in her tomb. But she won't, or she can't, because he's British. But so are these. Van Helsing and Jonathan burst in, and in one of the films...
God bless it. I just love Mel Brooks. I love that.
I did.
Sorry, man. Sorry,
kinda,
me and just keep going.
No,
I
it's
love
okay.
that scene.
I kind of glossed over
British.
that. Okay. So are these. Yeah. Yes. I do really enjoy the scene. Being an Evil Dead fan, I enjoy the scene where Van Helsing and Jonathan are in the crypt and they have to stake Lucy through the heart. And you see Mel Brooks just go hide behind the wall. And he's like, what are you doing? He's like, it's okay. You got this. And he goes to hide. And then just the immediate eruption of blood.
I know. She just ate.
She just
her
ate.
fed.
No, she's not dead yet. You're going to have to do it again.
She's not dead yet.
And then later on, Seward asks him, he's like, well, weren't you there too? Like, why aren't you covered in blood? He's like, I've been to some stakings before. I know what to do. It's location, location, location. With Lucy gone, Dracula moves on to Mina as the next course. He hypnotizes her, dances with her in his gothic lair, and bites her because that's his idea of courtship as a vampire. The next morning, Mina's acting strange and trying to seduce Jonathan again, but he's British, so it doesn't always work. While Seward misreads the situation completely and kicks poor Harker out of the house. Van Helsing is not fooled for a second. He cooks up a plan to expose Dracula at a fancy ball by hiding a giant mirror behind a curtain. When the curtain drops, everybody sees the reflection of the room except Dracula's, because vampires, you don't see them in the mirror. It is a classic vampire outing moment. Dracula grabs Mina and dives out the window in a flurry of capes and melodrama. With Mina's life and soul on the line, Van Helsing, Jonathan, and Dr. Seward track Dracula to an abandoned church. Dracula is just about to seal the deal on his undead marriage when the hunters burst in. The sunlight starts creeping in. Van Helsing pulls open the blinds. Chaos erupts, and Dracula tries to make his escape. But in a perfect Mel Brooks type twist, Renfield accidentally kills him instead by opening up a little slat in the ceiling and lets the sunlight in. With Dracula reduced to ashes, Renfield is heartbroken. No master, no purpose. Dr. Seward tries to comfort him, saying, "You are free now." Renfield, in a perfect gag ending, follows him out, replying, "Yes, master." Van Helsing, still determined to have the last word, yells something in Moldavian to Dracula's ashes, only for Dracula to reply after the credits, stealing the final word one last time. Those are the 10 major moments. And now, I think we might have some room for deep thoughts here.
And now, deep thoughts.
All right. When is the first time you remember seeing this movie?
I'm going to say I saw it right around when it came out. I mean, this is peak early high school.
Yep.
Now, like, this is good stuff. This is, yeah.
So I'm excited to say I had not seen this until now.
Really?
Oh, wow.
And I really didn't. I didn't really even know it existed until I was reading Mel Brooks' autobiography,
Yeah.
and he started talking about it, and I was kind of like, oh, okay, there was another Mel Brooks movie. Man, I got to check that out. And then it kind of went in one ear out the other until it came up on the list for this. And I didn't even process that this was that Mel Brooks movie until I hit play, and I'm like, oh my God, it's another Mel Brooks movie that I have not seen. This was like a treat surprise. I guess this one just slipped off the radar. So this was the first time I'd seen it.
Nice. Yeah,
That's awesome.
That's a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, it really, yeah, I guess I say I'm a big fan of Mel Brooks. I guess I'm really not. I didn't really even process this movie.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, for me,
But no, it was an awesome surprise. And it was like, oh, I get to watch a Mel Brooks movie for the first time. This is fantastic.
That is
So
cool.
it was really good. I'm sorry, I interrupted you, John. Go ahead.
No, not at all. Yeah, I think for me, similar to Bo, I think I probably saw this in the theater when it came out. In fact, I just about guarantee I saw this one in the theater when it came out because it was, especially at that age, one of my favorite genres was the vampire movie. It has Leslie Nielsen, it has Mel Brooks. It was all the combinations that I probably needed at age 14 when this came out.
Mm-hmm.
And so I vividly remember the trailer for this one, that moment of, the dramatic Dracula music in the background, and he comes, floating up out of the coffin and smacks his head on the chandelier. I vividly remember all the stuff from that trailer. So yes, this was a see it in the theater when it first came out kind of a deal. One thing I did mention, since I'm mentioning the trailer, is I believe, if I looked it up correctly, they are playing the music from the 1979 Dracula movie, where Dracula was played by Frank Langella, who we may know as he was Skeletor in the Masters of the Universe movie. He also played Perry White in Superman Returns. So we know him from a couple of different places. But yes, he was Dracula in the 1979 movie. I believe that's the music that's playing during the trailer. So I want to go through, and I know we've talked about a few of the scenes here and there, and I want to go through and I want to talk about more of them because I think I might need a little something from you guys this time around because, Pat, I think your excitement in seeing it for the first time is helping me out a little bit because I don't think I've seen this movie since I was 14.
Okay.
And I'm watching it again just a few days ago. I watched it again for the first time since I was 14. And while I am entertained by this movie, I even looked at the time. I spent the first 55 and a half minutes going, when's it going to get funny? I remember this movie being funnier than it is. And other than a few little moments here and there, where you've got like some of the ones we mentioned, and I almost forgot about the one where the coffin is sliding back and forth in the boat. But you've got the scene at the castle where, he gets the paper cut and blood is flying everywhere. You've got the scene with the Dracula's brides, vampire women that come in. You've got some of those earlier scenes, like when he's trying to hypnotize, is it Essie and Mina? And he's like, okay, now you go here. No, you sit down. Okay, no, you stand up. No. Now you move. No, not you. You. Like some of that stuff. It felt as I was watching it this time that it was so spread out, and there were so many moments in the first hour of the movie that I'm sitting there waiting for the gag, and I'm sitting there waiting for the joke, and it doesn't come. And during the first hour of the movie, with a few exceptions, I'm sitting there going, I feel like they're just doing a remake of Bram Stoker's Dracula, and I'm not getting the comedy. And then, and I forget what it was, around the 56 minute mark, all of a sudden, boom, it starts to hit. And so I don't know. I mean, I'm as we've said before, I'm a huge fan of his movies. A huge Brooks and Dunn fan. Young Frankenstein, Blazing Saddles, Spaceball, all of those, like comedy gold. I love these movies. And I remember watching this as a 14-year-old and really, really enjoying this and thinking that this was hilarious. Probably because that's also around the same time I probably saw Bram Stoker's Dracula for the first time. And so the fact that this is making fun of that and parodying that is perfect. Every time he takes his hair off and hangs it up somewhere, absolutely love it.
You could take my hat.
Yes. And the stuff with the shadows. I think, Bo, you might have mentioned that.
Oh my
Like
God,
all
that stuff killed me.
the shadow stuff. But yeah, the first 55 minutes was, I don't want to call it a slog to get through, but it was more serious and played straighter than I wanted it to be.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know if it felt like during that first hour that, I don't know if he was holding back. I don't know. And part of me is like, I don't feel like Mel Brooks has ever been careful about his humor. Like, I feel like you just dive in and you make the joke work. And this seems odd. I love Leslie Nielsen as Dracula. I think he does a great job. He nails the clueless old vampire routine. I think Peter McNichol as Renfield is also fun. Occasionally during that first half of the movie, there are times where it kind of feels a little flat. Some of the jokes don't quite land as much as I wanted them to. They're not, what do I want to say? They're not bad. The jokes are not bad. They just come across as kind of quiet. And I'm waiting for the movie to kind of kick things into gear, and it doesn't do it for that first hour or so. And then roundabout, and I looked at the time code, roundabout 56 minutes, that's when it finally kind of wakes up to me.
Okay.
And that might be around the time, if I remember, where we get the scene where they're trying to stake Lucy, and there's the eruption there's like the Evil Dead levels of blood eruption, you know, and Van Helsing's like unfazed reaction and all that other stuff, the garlic scene, the hypnosis bit. Then it's starting to feel a little bit more like classic Mel Brooks. It's goofy, it's weird, it feels like it's starting to have fun with itself when you get to the last half hour or so of the movie. So I don't know what it was. Here's what I think it is. And then maybe you guys can tell me where I'm wrong, or you can tell me where I might have missed some things that were funny and I just, for some reason, didn't catch them. I think the combination of Mel Brooks and knowing that he is infinitely funny, and Leslie Nielsen, where I am so used to Airplane or Naked Gun, where the jokes are coming multiple times a minute. You know, we just talked about, Bo, you just got a chance to see the new Naked Gun. In that movie, Pat and I went to go see it in the theater. In that movie, I can't think of a minute in that movie where there's not some kind of verbal or visual gag or audio gag. There's multiple times a minute in that movie. And I think that's how a lot of the Leslie Nielsen movies are, is it's constant. But it's constant in a way that stays funny because they vary up the different type of gags that they're doing. So I wonder if in watching this, I'm looking at it going, Mel Brooks, Leslie Nielsen, this should be like, I should be exhausted by the time this movie is over because it has been so funny from start to finish. And I think about Airplane and Naked Gun and the new Naked Gun. That's how I felt watching each of those movies. And most recently, the new Naked Gun movie, that's how I felt. From the moment that movie started, all the way through, I did not feel like that movie let up. And I think that's what I was hoping for in rewatching this one. And I did not get it during that first hour. The last 35 or so minutes, absolutely. I felt like then it was pedal to the metal, let's go, let's have some fun. But I don't know. This time around, it kind of, to quote the band director, it was just a tad flat for me.
Yeah.
Am I wrong? Like, I want you to prove me wrong. I want you to tell me that there are other scenes that I forgot that in that first little bit that are funny. And there definitely are moments, like the scene where he's really trying to get people to pass out as they're watching the autopsy. Or what does he call what does he call the autopsy? Or he says something. He says it in kind of a weird way. But I know there are those scenes, and I was chuckling during those scenes, but there was just something that the humor in the first 55 minutes just felt a little off.
Well, I mean, that's like, your opinion, man. So I can't sit here and try to tell you, hey, John, you're wrong. It was funny. You should be, I know sometimes.
Tell me I'm wrong, Pat. Tell me everything I'm doing is wrong. I just want you to know.
I've had this experience with things too, and it's like I will just always keep coming back to my comment that comedy is hard. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm gonna veg out and like not use my brain and just like, I'm probably gonna be watching like an action movie,
Sure.
or an adventure movie or something like that. I find comedy, I have to really be awake and alert for it. Otherwise, it will, like I said, it'll just fall flat. And it's with all different kinds of comedy. And there's times that I've made that mistake and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna watch whatever just to relax to. And if I'm half asleep, I'm not finding it funny. The most recent thing that happened was I'm like, oh, I'm gonna put on Mystery Science Theater 3000. This is gonna be great. And I was just sitting there watching it. And I'm kind of like, oh no, this is something I remember, loving. What just happened? And it just was when I was tired. And I came back to it like a day later and I was laughing my head off. And I think that's what can happen with comedy sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it takes an energy
Yeah.
from the audience. I think it's very hard performers. I just, it's ironic that comedy doesn't have an award at the Academy Awards because I think it's one of the most challenging and difficult genres or things to do. So, I mean, I can't sit here and tell you, well, John, it was really funny. You just missed it.
I mean, you
But I
could.
think if you're tired or if you have expectations or any of that kind of stuff, and it's even the littlest bit off, it's not going to work for you.
Yeah.
That's just, kind of would be my opinion. I found this really, really funny. I just loved everything about it. The Mel Brooks humor works for me. I'm not saying that it doesn't work for you. So I'm not saying that by any means. I don't know. I'd have to go back and, to list, oh man, that scene, that scene, that scene, because obviously, this is just the first time I've seen it. But for me, there was plenty of that just, it cracked me up. And I know that at least in his book, and I think in hearing him speak, that was kind of the goal for this movie, I thought, was to almost make, like that's the comedy. Like we're going to make, I don't want to say a serious, because there were little gags thrown in, but we're basically going to make, do a remake of the Dracula movie, but we're just going to throw some little gags in there. And, almost kind of like Leslie Nielsen when he was playing Frank Drebin, where the idea was don't try to be funny, just be serious and let the situation naturally put the humor in there. That's kind of like the way this movie was, right? Like it wasn't and who did all that? Who did Airplane and Naked Gun? Was that Zucker? Abrams Zucker did all that?
Yeah.
Yeah, their stuff, it's just gag, 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 visual gag, reaction gag, comedy gag. But again, it was all like with that Leslie Nielsen just being serious. And the situation, just it was like he was funny, but his character didn't know how funny he was. And I think that this is different. I don't know if every Mel Brooks movie is like that. That would be interesting to go back and see. Like I'm thinking back, like Spaceballs seems to have like a gag a minute. So I don't know, but this one felt like, and I remember them saying too, we're remaking Dracula, but with through a humorous lens, through a satirical lens. But that was what we started with, was not we're using the Dracula topic matter and going to make a gag a minute, but we're going to make this movie, but spoof it a little bit. And that's kind of, in my mind, that's kind of two different things. And maybe is why you noticed that, hey, we're not getting a gag every minute when you watch it. Or maybe I'm just full of malarkey. I don't know.
Yeah, I was able to find a couple of interview quotes from Mel Brooks, and one of the things he said was he really wanted to do this movie. Actually, he wanted to do this movie since the 70s. After he made Young Frankenstein, he wanted to do what he called a companion piece. And then the idea just kind of simmered and sat there. And then when Francis Ford Coppola did Bram Stoker's Dracula, and there were a bunch of other vampire movies in the 90s, that's when he kind of jumped up and he's like, all right, this is perfect. Now is the time to do this because we can spoof that one, a bunch of other movies. And then he said, this was a quote from one of the interviews, he had said what the intent was behind this movie. He said, that's what we tried to do in this picture. Like Young Frankenstein, it should be very dramatic, and yet it should always be hysterically funny. That's our job.
Mm-hmm.
And so I get that. And I get I think it is dramatic, but where Young Frankenstein, I feel like it's not necessarily like the multiple laughs a minute like you get from an airplane or a Naked Gun or something like that. But I feel like Young Frankenstein, at least in a certain way, it's more balanced. I don't feel like the bulk of the comedy is coming in the last half hour. So
No, I hear you.
I think that's just my take. And like you said, it could have been, maybe I was in a different mood watching it this time, because when I watched it at 14, it had all the combination of stuff that 14-year-old me would have needed for this to be hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
So that's possible.
Yeah, I think, Pat made a good point. I think I think there's a lot of setup in the first hour. And some of the jokes pay off later. Because the first time they do the get the last word, it's not super funny. It's the third and 10th and however many times that it's funny. Yeah, there's definitely a slow burn to it. I mean, if you think about it, that scene on the carriage, there's not a whole lot of jokes. There's, everyone's shocked that he's going to Castle Dracula, but that's, not a joke per se.
Right. Well, and I guess one of the other things to kind of look at is Leslie Nielsen. I did find a quote from Leslie Nielsen, who talked about his approach to the character of Dracula is that in this movie, Dracula's a victim because he said this movie shows Dracula's vulnerability. He relies on the assistance from a man like Renfield. He's looking for assistance from mortals, and he gets nothing but botched up because they don't follow his instructions. They turn out to be pretty dumb, and poor Dracula is the one who suffers. So what you see in this is a suffering Dracula, a victimized Dracula. It's a shame, which that in and of itself is kind of funny. That when you think of all the other iterations of Dracula is in control. He is Count Dracula. Whereas in this one, yes, it's kind of he's, to paraphrase another Mel Brooks movie, he's surrounded by morons. How many morons do we have in this place?
Yo-ho!
Yo!
I knew it. Surrounded by Renfields. So. Yeah, so I mean, I think all in all, I do still enjoy this movie. I think I was just surprised this time around. And like you said, it could have been my mood. It could have been something else. I was just surprised this time around that I spent that first 55 minutes of the movie going, when's it going to pick up? Like, when's it going to pick up? This is the perfect combination for John, especially 14-year-old John would have loved this. Even 45-year-old John should love this. And the first hour of the movie, I was like, okay, it's Mel Brooks. It's Leslie Nielsen. I'm sticking with it. It's got some funny parts here and there.
Mm-hmm.
So that part maybe just surprised me a little bit at how much I expected there to be more comedy in that first hour. And there wasn't, it just didn't feel like there was as much of it as I would have expected.
A slow burn.
A slow burn. Mm-hmm. The slow burn of slowly opening up the blinds and letting the sunlight in. Until Renfield just opens up the entire roof and fries you.
Sorry, master.
That was one of the other hilarious things was how they always, whenever he turned to a bat, they always kept Leslie Nielsen's face.
That was really funny.
That was good.
Like of all the different gimmicks or effects that you could do, the fact that you're keeping Leslie Nielsen's face with like big giant bat ears and yeah.
Yes. Very good.
All right. Is there anything else that we want to say about Dracula Dead and Loving It before we go to our 3 questions?
No, because I'll just remember another scene and go, oh my gosh, it's awesome.
Bo just wants to keep yelling wrong me.
Yes.
Yeah.
He is Vigo.
He is Vigo. All right. Ask me 3 questions, Lord.
He asks each traveler 5 questions.
3 questions.
Well, were they cycles? Or?
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Quid pro quo. I tell you things, you tell me things.
So I'll ask you the questions and then we'll see, all right?
All right. Question number 1. What is your favorite Dracula or vampire movie?
I like Lost Boys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good one.
Bram Stoker's Dracula is pretty darn good.
Yeah. You got the original Bela Lugosi from the 30s.
Blade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Blade's fun.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna be what does the one vampire say? I'm gonna be a vampire god. I'm gonna be a naughty vampire god.
From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, were they psychos or something?
Yeah.
No, they weren't psychos.
Psychos? Do they look like psychos? They were vampires.
Psychos don't burst into flames
When sunlight hits them, I don't give up
sun.
how crazy they are.
That's right. No matter how crazy they are. That's the line that makes that art.
I have the button for it right here. Let's have George do it for us.
What, were they psychos? Or?
They look like psychos? Is that what they look like? They were vampires. Psychos do not explode when sunlight hits them. I don't give a how crazy they are.
Yes.
Love it.
Yes.
That's good.
I'm going to say I saw the new Nosferatu movie that came out last year. That was a good one.
I have not seen that.
Oh, it's good stuff. I enjoyed it. Always love Bram Stoker's Dracula from 92. Even the awful acting that some people do in that movie. Whoa.
Hey.
I know Kung Fu.
I know Kung Fu. I can use it against Count Dracula, the man himself. Let's see.
For the
what
last
else?
time. No, you don't.
No, you don't.
Do you know Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter are on Broadway now? Or
yes.
I don't know, Broadway.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were actually on the Stephen Colbert show last night.
Okay, how were they?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Good. I fell asleep halfway through it because it's way past my bedtime, but
yeah, I know how that goes.
Yeah. But they were also on, I think there was we've taken to watching the PBS NewsHour.
Yeah.
Because we just like how they cover the news, and they did an entire segment on there with them.
Yeah, I heard them on NPR.
Mm-hmm.
What show are they doing again? It's waiting for
Got It?
Yeah.
Waiting for Godot?
Well, apparently it's Got It.
Really?
Yeah. Apparently we've all been saying it wrong. It's like
well, and here I was gonna make a Godot joke, and now that's all over.
Well, Gal Gadot, I think that's still how you say her name.
Well, yeah, but I was working on a joke with that, and then
Okay.
now I just sound like an idiot.
Do you want to just do it anyway, Bo? Just do it.
No, it's fine.
It's okay, Bo. If it's wrong, it's okay. Wrong me.
No, the moment hath passed.
Oh,
you're on my leg.
Everything you are doing is wrong. I just want you to know.
Mm-hmm.
The joyfulness is over now.
Joyfulness is
Oh,
over.
that's because he misses his Carpathian kitten. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm still stuck on vampire movies. Near Dark is awesome. We did that one on the show years ago. That was fun. Do I go with the funny option or do I go with the serious option?
Yes.
Yes.
He is Vigo.
I so thoroughly enjoy What We Do in the Shadows.
Good one.
Yeah, so that's the funny option. And Bram Stoker's Dracula might be the other one. Just because that was peak. I mean, there's very few things that rival the 30s Dracula movie for me, too. But
sure,
I think 1992, Bram Stoker's Dracula, that was like peak, 12-year-old John is really into vampire stories kind of time.
All right, cool.
So I think I maybe got to go with that one.
Yeah, do it.
Then there's Fright Night. Okay, anyway, Bram Stoker's Dracula. Yeah. All right. Is there an actor, question 2, is there an actor that Mel Brooks has not worked with yet that you would like to see him collaborate with?
Jeff Bridges.
That could be fun.
Yeah.
The dude meets President Scroob
Mm-hmm.
or Yogurt.
I had mine in
whatever.
Yeah. I had mine and it slipped out of my head. Oh, Hugh Jackman.
Oh, that could be fun.
Mm-hmm. And
Maybe
here's
a
how I came to it. I
reboot
would
of
love
the
to see
producers.
Mm-hmm.
that, or yeah, you know what? There's another dimension right there. The other one I was thinking of was like a spoof version of like Moby Dick. And I'm like, Patrick Stewart. But I think Patrick Stewart played Captain Ahab.
Yes.
No. Captain A was, wait a minute. Was Captain Ahab Moby Dick or Mutiny on the Bounty?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Moby Dick.
Okay. So, but I think Patrick Stewart already played that. So you could bring him back.
I believe so, yeah.
Or like I said, I'd almost love to see like a Hugh Jackman do that.
Yeah, there was a 1998 limited series on TV where Patrick Stewart played Captain Ahab. It looks like it is currently available to stream on Tubi for free.
Tubi.
Where he plays a wailing man.
Well, I'm telling you, I wouldn't mind seeing him and or Hugh Jackman. Actually, the two of them together with Mel Brooks.
Just please tell me that I have never seen the 1998 Moby Dick limited series. Just please tell me at some point Jimmy Doohan walks out and goes, "Captain, there'll be whales here."
I don't know if that happens, John. I don't think I can promise that.
And then
That'd be amazing.
And then he gets eaten by Moby Dick.
Mm-hmm.
It's a real Deep Blue Sea kind of moment.
They stick him in the food replicator.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to go with, for my answer, I am going to go with, although he's done a lot of more serious, dramatic stuff lately, it feels like, I think Steve Carell. If you went like old school, The Office, Steve Carell, Daily Show, Steve Carell, Anchorman, Steve Carell, I think that could be fun.
Yes.
He has the range to play it straight, but then also to go completely ridiculous within a matter of moments. So I think that could work. That could probably work very well. Yeah, yeah. That's who I would love to see Albert Brooks work with.
I was wondering you were going to get around to that one.
I'm working on it.
Albert Brooks.
I'm working on it. Let's see. Who have I covered so far? I got Garth Brooks, Albert Brooks,
Mel Blanc,
Mel
Tillis.
Oh, if we want the deep cut, I believe there was an actor who was on the TV show 30 something whose name was Mel Harris.
Oh, now you're just
so I've now incepted all of the jokes.
Yes.
Would Robin Williams work in a Mel Brooks movie?
You know, I don't know. I feel like
too much of a good thing at that point.
Maybe. Is that too manic?
Right.
I don't know. I don't know if that would work. Maybe slightly older, slightly slowed down, mature Robin Williams. Probably not young Robin Williams.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a really good question.
Well, and I think Robin Williams can probably do just about anything you ask him to do. I mean, you look at Good Morning Vietnam, you look at, look at, drawing a complete blank. Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, Good Will Hunting.
Yeah.
Good Will Hunting, I don't think he had any of his, which is going in line with what you said. But I mean, I think, you hire him and put him in a movie because you want him to do what he does.
Right.
It would be interesting to see a role where it's like, hey, here's what I want you to play. I think, I think he could do it. It would just be interesting to see what role they would put him in.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Did we all answer this one? Did we get everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I believe so.
All right. Okay. And then last question, because a lot of times we do kind of devolve into somewhat of a food discussion podcast. What is your favorite food that uses garlic as an ingredient?
Yes.
That is the correct answer.
Indeed.
She is Nosferatu. She's Italian?
I'm British. Sorry. I'm sorry, guys. This is funny stuff.
It's a very international film.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Very cosmopolitan.
Yes. She's multilingual because she's British and Italian.
I'll tell you, there was this pizza place we used to go to, and you'd get, I don't know if they called it the buffalo garlic, but you'd get the pizza and then sliced on top were big slices of garlic. Boy, that hit the spot.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
Mm-hmm. I think you could get that at Eduardo's Pizza. You remember that place?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Big Ed Weirdos fan.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with, and I'm not going to pretend at all that they were of the highest quality. I'm just going to go with addictive value. There was a fast food Italian place that I don't think exists anymore, or at least not around here, called Fazoli's.
Fazoli's.
Yeah.
I was just at one last year.
Were you? Okay. They've
Mhm.
all, I think maybe except for further north in Wisconsin and maybe somewhere near St. Louis. I want to say most of the ones in Illinois have closed.
Okay.
There used to be one right outside a bookstore that I worked in when I was in college, and I would go there pretty much all the time for dinner when I was on my dinner breaks. The garlic breadsticks.
Mm.
There is, I don't know what kind of addictive substance they infuse those with.
Mm.
It's much like there was a Mexican restaurant that used to be in the little town kind of next to us over here called Highwood. They used to have a place called Salt Creek Tacos.
Okay.
And we referred to their tortilla chips as crack chips because we think that's what was in them.
Uh-huh.
Because you really and truly could. We would actually we'd get enough food for everybody in the family to have the food that we needed to keep us alive, to sustain our bodies. But
Mhm.
then when it came time to purchase a certain number of bags of chips, we would always purchase maybe 3 or 4 times more than we needed.
Sure.
Because they were highly addictive. So again, I'm not saying that Fazoli's garlic breadsticks are the cat's pajamas of breadsticks. I'm not saying that they are of the highest quality of breadsticks, but those things are addictive. And when they come around, they come around with that little breadstick basket to your table, and they're like, "Would you like some more?" And
Yes,
and
please.
your answer is yes, have some. And
Mhm.
they would ask you a silly question like, "How many would you like?" And you just
I'll take everything you got.
right. It basically is like from the Blues Brothers. They're like, "Wrong glass, sir."
Mhm.
Like, how many would you like? How many you got? No, that's not what I'm asking.
There
I'm
you
asking
go.
how many would you like? I'm asking how much you got. Local authorities know that, sheriff know that you're conducting business this way. I think we've successfully quoted just about every movie we could think of tonight.
I think so. I think you just capped it right there.
I'm excited to be a part of this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anytime that we can talk about Albert, Brooks and Dunn, Mel Tillis, Mel Blanc, Mel Gibson. Yeah. Anytime. It's always a good time. And we're just going to end up falling into a quote-a-thon.
Yes.
No. All right. We have successfully talked through this movie, quoted this movie, and made ourselves very hungry for anything with garlic as an ingredient. Vampires, we are not, because you can feel free to wrong us with garlic as much as you want.
Mm-hmm.
But check out our website, 30podcast.com. That is where you can find all of our past episodes and get connected up with our Patreon, where we have some free episodes that are available there. We've also got for Patreon co-executive producers who donate to the show to help kind of keep things running. Thank you so much for your support in that way. We appreciate that, to each and every one of you that is with us, donating towards the show every month, because you find that this is something you enjoy, and we're happy to be able to share that with you. We love talking about movies, and we love to find out more about you and get to know all of you. And it's been a blast, every single one that we have gotten to know. So thank you so much for that, as always, to our Patreon folks.
Yeah, and well said, John. Totally agree.
We've got a lot of really good stuff this month that we've done so far. We are almost to the end of October. It makes me a little bit sad that we only have about one more week left to go of October horror month, mostly vampires month this year. Our Patreon episode was Lord of Illusions from 1995. Our good friend Rob Perry joined us for that one. Tank Girl 1995 was a Patreon short. Mercifully, no one joined me for that one. The Prophecy Vampire in Brooklyn, The Addiction. We did our 10th anniversary rewatch. Rob Perry also joined us for that one as well. That was Jacob's Ladder from 1990. This week was Dracula Dead and Loving It. Next week, we finish it off with Species. So, and there will be a lot of wronging in Species as well. It's like if you mix Alien with that scene in Dracula Dead and Loving It.
Right.
And that's most of the movie. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
I don't know what more I'm going to say about that. You're going to have to come back next week and find out what more we say about that.
Right.
There it is. Yes.
Right. Well, Patrick, Bo, thank you so much for being here with me.
Thank you.
Thank you, John.
All right.
Fun movie.
Everybody, be excellent to each other. Go watch some scary movies, and we'll see you back here next time.
You're listening to the 30-something movie podcast. One movie each week. 30 years in the making.